Right, Saturday, 5:30 p.m, the Etihad. Chelsea look to break the curse, which is 10 games in a row without recording a single victory over Manchester City. When we take on Pep Guardiola's men, who have definitely picked up a little bit of form recently. However, it is not impossible, and despite Chelsea's ongoing injury, what I can now call crisis, both myself and the big dog, channel fan favourite Josh Aveste, believe we have assembled a starting lineup that is probably only going to be about 75% wrong due to availability.
Yeah. If we get to 75%, I feel pretty happy with this. I actually am starting to hate Enzo Maresca, not because of his performances on the pitch, not because of the team sheets he puts out, just because of his delayed injury updates that just seem to ruin every prediction that we ever have. He needs to sort that out.
I did say to a lot of people though last week when they were saying, "Oh, Cole Palmer's out and Enzo Fernandez is out and all these players and Caicedo's out and whatever," and I was like, just wait until the game. Just wait until the game, because I said some of them will be, but some of them won't be. Yeah. And obviously Cole Palmer was in there and Caicedo was in there. So there will be ones that we look at in this team sheet that obviously we've included in there that we haven't heard on. But if you are new to the channel, please do me a massive favour. Hit the like button on the video this second right now. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And also our joint venture, would you say greatest podcast of all time?
I would just say probably the best YouTube channel of all time.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Let's not limit it to podcasts.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Joey and Josh. It is linked in the description. We have been dropping weekly episodes from Joey and Josh. We've got a lot of true crime stuff on there. This week, I suppose it kind of is true crime what we've got coming out this week.
Yeah, some of the stuff that you're going to learn in a podcast all about travelling the world. You'll learn some stuff about Joey that you wouldn't have known before. You might not want to know. And I'll leave it at that.
But it's not just about me. It's about exploring Asia.
Yourself.
And yourself. There you go.
And a Swedish girl called...
I can't say her name on camera. I can't say her name on camera. Just in case she's watching. Now listen, at the time of recording, Manchester City are in France. They are about to take to the field and do battle with PSG. And obviously, look, we don't wish any ill upon anyone, do we?
I don't want any of them to get hurt. I think that would be a real shame if there were any injuries at all for Manchester City.
I would hate it for De Bruyne or Haaland to pick up a severe leg break or something like that.
Where is your voodoo doll?
My voodoo doll?
Yeah, because you've got one of Haaland.
It's on the dartboard.
You keep brushing his hair. I don't know why you keep doing it. It's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's on the dartboard. Don't worry about that.
Right. Do you know what? We don't want to preempt this, but fucking hell, I really do hope the PSG win that game as well.
Do you?
Oh, I don't like PSG, but I'd rather Man City get knocked out of the Champions.
Would they be knocked out of the Champions League tonight if they lose?
They won't be knocked out tonight, but they are certainly struggling in the Champions League, and so it would be a tough ask.
You should actually want Man City to win, and I'll give you two reasons why.
I know what you're going to say. Coefficients.
Coefficients is reason number one, and also I just think like losing. I prefer to face a team that are on a winning streak than coming off a loss if they're a decent team. If it's Wolves and they're losing like 3 matches before, like we just had, then I'm like, yeah, sweet, okay, good time to face them. But if it's Man City, they've had their bad streak. They look like they're getting back to winning ways. It's 3 wins in their last 4 Premier League games. Yeah. I'd rather they scrape a nice little 1-0 win and pick up 1 or 2 or 6 or 7 injuries tonight against PSG, and then they go to the Etihad and they're confident, and Keenan Dewsbury Hall and the boys just absolutely pulled their pants down. Do you know what I mean?
Wonderful assist that he got, by the way. Can we just say that? Oh,
do you know what? Bounce. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Would it be an assist if he had a shaved head?
No.
Probably wouldn't be.
It would have glistened off of the top of that head beautifully.
Yeah. If he was to shave his head,
yeah.
Who would you say? Could you think of anyone in mind that you would recommend razor-wise or shaver-wise?
The best company that I could think of, and I'm racking my brain now for a few, would definitely be Manscaped.
Manscaped are a good one, aren't
Yeah,
they?
they are a good one. If you do have a bit of, an issue up top and you need some hair being shaved
Or down bottom.
or down bottom, wherever you want to go. We're not judgmental here. You can put that shaver wherever you like.
I've put a pre-order in for next Christmas.
Have you?
Yeah, because I'm hoping by that time I'd have grown them down there. So I'm a late developer.
Don't worry, I'll lend you some of mine.
Listen, is it a bad time to play Man City?
When is ever a good time to play Manchester City? Even in that run where they had, 8 shit results?
Well, they won one game in 12, didn't they?
There you go.
All competitions.
There you go. So even in that run, I still wouldn't fancy us to go and demolish Man City. They can always come and perform very well. And you know what? We do need to be worried about them for the Champions League places now. They're going to be resurgent, rampant, coming right up there. So I'm worried about it, mate. I am worried
They
about
are
it.
still without the likes of Rodri, obviously Nathan Ake, Oscar Bob, John Stones, and as I say, hopefully they pick up a few more injuries. But they will be boosted by Ruben Diaz being back in that defence. Guardiola, obviously, Akanji.
Even the second string Man City team, though. Let's be real right now. Even the second string Man City team are still probably one of the best teams in the league.
If they're on form, then yeah. But this isn't a second string. This is a
1.5.
It's an A minus, isn't it?
I think it's pretty much full strength.
Yeah, that's what
Really.
I'm saying.
They're only missing really key player. I would say is Rodri.
Rodri takes it to an 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think it's a B team. It's an A.
definitely
It's
not
an
a
A
B team.
minus, is what I would probably say.
Yeah.
So, but it will be a statement match, won't it, for both teams? Because if you look at it, both sides are really looking to push way closer towards the likes of Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, Liverpool, Chelsea. You know, we got back to winning ways the other night. Before we sort of move on to the ramifications, which obviously I can just spell like that, by the way.
I don't know how you do.
My vocab since hanging around with you is just unreal.
I don't think it is. I think you've been absorbing. I think you've been watching a lot of content.
It's gone for a
I
rip.
think you've been going up there and going, yeah, word of the day ramification. Fair enough.
There's not much talking.
I couldn't spell
There's
it.
not much talking in this type of content that I usually consume.
Well, fair enough. But how else are you absorbing
Like
the words then?
Harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's just Pep Guardiola's team talks.
There you go. What manager ever gives the best team talks?
I thought you were going to ask me, which is the better question. Which manager would make the best porn star? I think Antonio Conte would be up there. I can imagine him with a moustache. I can imagine him in sort of like a 70s kind of vibe.
Yeah.
I honestly can't think of anyone that would be better than Conte.
I think.
What about Simeone?
Yeah.
Simeone, I could see.
Wouldn't shock me to see a Gary O'Neill type in one.
God.
Yeah.
Really?
Don't know why.
Do you know the outside shout might be a Dutchman, might be a little bit of Schlot. And that's a good name for a porn star.
Sean Dyche. Why not?
Daichi would actually be quite good.
Why not? Have you seen Bevo's now a porn star? I've got this thing of bringing up Bevo all the time.
Yeah. You've been watching a lot of the videos. How much do you pay for Bevo's videos?
I thought it's bad enough watching him eat. Watching him fuck's completely different.
If you had to watch one every day for the rest of your life, what would you go for?
What, eating or banging?
Yeah.
Oh, eating, probably. Yeah. Prefer him chowing down on a bit of curry or something like that than a bit of muff.
How the fuck have we got into this?
I don't know.
How do we do it every fucking single time?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just quickly, tell me, you were at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
Way better second half than first half, because I spoke to you at half time and you weren't in the best of spirits, were you?
I think the quote was, "This is fucking shit."
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to,
Do you know what? We're looking exquisite, mate.
Yeah.
We're back.
Yeah.
What can I say? We're looking so good. Do you know the one thing? I'm going to tell you one thing that really annoyed me, and perhaps this is a controversial one. But the Noni Madueke goal really pissed me off.
Pissed me off too.
It wound me up in a way that I'm now at the point where I'm a little bit like I'm a bit sick of Noni Madueke.
Really?
Well, I'm just a bit like now.
Well, you've always had a conspiracy theory that he's got a goal bonus in his contract.
Oh, he's definitely got a goal bonus in his contract because he's not on a huge wage, and so he is motivated by getting that goal bonus. It makes complete sense, doesn't it? I mean, what he did, by the way, for anyone that hasn't seen it, Trevor Chalobah coming back, a beautiful story, a story in which the director of football, King Trevor, he's been left aside by the directors of football. He'd been banished to the under-21s team, left the dressing room, stripped of his number, which is for his mother, and given to João Felix. He returns from loan on Crystal Palace. Didn't really take a lot of convincing, did it? Happened quite quickly. He plays the man of the match performance, which I had to convince you to give, but I'm glad you did give it in the end. And then has a beautiful looping header going towards the far side of the goal. It is going into the net. What does Noni Madueke do?
He does a David Nugent.
Yeah.
Do you remember when he done that for England?
Yeah.
But it weren't as bad.
It was up there.
It wasn't as close to goal as when David Nugent nicked that goal.
That ball was going in, and he didn't need to touch it. And I think the narrative alone was worth sacrificing your goal bonus.
Yeah.
I think that was a shame. But other than that, it was all, roses, all flowers and roses.
Maybe he donates the goal bonus to Trevor Chalobah, who would in turn probably donate it to the church.
I hope so.
There you go. Look, I say that Man City are on a bit of a better run of form. At the same time as that, those 3 wins have all come against teams in the bottom half of the table, teams that they should be beating. But from a Chelsea perspective, if we were to beat Man City, and obviously I exclude Spurs and Man United out of this conversation, and the likes of Newcastle and whatnot. Basically, I'm talking Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, yeah? If we were to win this game, it would be the first time we've won one of those games.
Again, against a huge Premier League team you're referring to.
Since the days of Roman Abramovich, we've not beaten.
We've not beaten like a out and out top 4 team.
We've not beaten an Arsenal. We've not beaten a Liverpool, and we've not beaten a Man City since Roman left the club, have we?
It feels
like a fucking lifetime ago that Roman Abramovich left.
Yeah.
And we feel, because we've got good memories of some of these games, like that's a bit of a crazy stat when you think about that. And maybe not a crazy stat, but it's like there would be a few people that there would have gone, fucking hell, we're not. But it's like, we haven't.
I didn't know the stat you used in the intro about the 11 games that we've not beaten them in.
10.
10.
Last time we beat them?
Can't even tell me. I didn't know this stat. Can't remember it.
You should remember it.
Was Champions League final?
Champions League final.
Was that the last time we beat them?
Yeah.
Fuck. That's scary.
Man.
That's really, really scary. Yeah, it really
and
is.
I say 10
games.
I say 10 games. It was actually 11 because do you remember when we was out in LA and Man City pumped us like 4-1 in a pre-season friendly?
Are you counting that? Are you?
Nah. 10's all.
What you're forgetting
games.
is we won 4-4. Yeah,
there you go.
No,
but this is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because we had good memories, we won 4-4.
Yeah.
We won. Was it 2-2 we won or 1-2 we won when Raheem Sterling scored at the Etihad last season? Yeah. Must have been 2-2 win.
Yeah.
And then obviously last season we also had the 2 win against Arsenal.
Yep.
And we had the 2 win, which obviously the Chill Dog made a 3-2 win.
Yep.
On the opening day against Liverpool. Was that 2 or was that 1?
I thought it was 1-1, was it?
1-1.
Yeah.
2-1. 2-1 win.
2-1 win.
Obviously, I don't really include VAR in my line of thinking.
As you know, if you've read the Squawker article that everyone must have read by now, because quite frankly, that's all we talk about. We know we are the hardest done by in terms of the entire league, Premier League, in terms of VAR decisions. So
seriously, on a scale of chilled out, sexy vibes to absolutely petrified, how concerned are you with the unavailability of some of our players? Because we're not going to give our team sheet just yet. We have agreed on a team sheet.
What a surprise.
It's not that hard to agree on one, is it, really?
And also, we usually agree.
Yeah, there you go. But how scared are you of this sort of...
I'm really scared about this. Let's think about this. Who would we rather face right now? The Manchester City away. I would only prefer less to face probably a Liverpool. Other than that, I'd fancy our chances more against an Arsenal with their current predicament of injuries and lack of form.
Yeah.
I'm more scared about Man City right now than I am Arsenal in terms of a one game situation. Not talking about the league. Don't worry about that. I'm shitting myself about this. They are, in a weird way, they are the kryptonite, aren't they? Because they can come and get in behind us, use that attacking flair, use Haaland's strength and ability to boss our, let's be honest, injured defenders. I'm worried about it.
You know what though?
Are you?
Yeah, I am. But the position I'm most worried about is central midfield. Being without Enzo Fernandez and Romeo Lavia, which Enzo Maresca has now confirmed, will absolutely kill us, in my opinion.
Well, that's hilarious though, mate, because you've always backed a certain Dewsbury Hall.
Kiernan Dewsbury Hall.
You keep going on about him.
Is
I've heard
player.
You think he's like Scott Parker reincarnated.
Scott Parker was way better than Kiernan Dewsbury Hall for Chelsea. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall's all right. He was half decent the other night, as I say. Got an assist, great assist.
Beautiful hair.
Yeah. But listen, if you're Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, and spoiler alert before we get into our team sheet, he's obviously going to have to be in the lineup. If you're Kiernan Dewsbury Hall...
You're telling me you don't want to play Carney Chukwuemeka in there?
Of course I do, but it's just not. It's not like, you know, I always bang on about, like, it's not a predicted lineup, it's a preferred lineup.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like, well, yeah, but I'm not just going to week in, week out go, oh, Ben Chilwell in there. Like, it's not happening.
Can I have a slight random pick a player that might end up playing in midfield? Do you want to have a guess who I'm about to say?
Raksaki?
No. I reckon
Vega.
No. I reckon there's a small chance
Reese.
that Mark Cucurella plays in midfield. Because do you remember the other day against Wolves, he finished the game in centre mid?
You have just made me rethink my team sheet.
Yeah.
But I've already done the graphic.
Because you could play Malagusto on the left.
You could, couldn't you?
And you love putting Malagusto on the left.
I think he'd absolutely pocket Phil Foden on that left-hand side.
There you go.
And I think Reese James, whether it's Savio or Doku.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Can we just say, we're not calling that team sheet, but if it does happen, just say you heard it here first. That's all I'm going to say. Do you know what? Yeah. So if you're putting some bets on, bet Cucurella to start in centre mid.
Right. We'll have a little look.
We've teased it.
At the team sheet. 17 minutes. There you go. I know where to put it in. We'll have a little look at the team sheet. Obviously, I'm not going to have time to flip back and forth, so I'll just read it out. What we've got. Robert Sanchez in goal. The man, Reese James, our captain at right back. Trevor Chalobah paired with Levi Colwill. Now, Levi Colwill is one of those players that obviously is potentially on the injury list, but as you say, Enzo Maresca has only given updates at this moment in time for Enzo Fernandez and for Romeo Lavia. If Levi Colwill is not available, then obviously Tosin Adarabioyo will be first in line to come in there.
And score a screamer.
I wouldn't, score a screamer. I wouldn't have an Axel Disasi or anyone like that instead of him. Changpong, I think it'd just be a little bit too much for him at this moment in time. So I think that the partnership that we saw between Trevor Chalobah and Tosin Adarabioyo worked quite well. It would probably be in the reverse order. It'd probably be Tosin more in the central and Trevor Chalobah over on that left-hand side. Cucurella, obviously, we've got him at left back. He'll play wherever he wants, to be honest. If he wants to go number 9, he'll go number 9. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, Caicedo, Cole Palmer just in front. One side of him, Noni Madueke. The other side of him, a former Man City Academy graduate in Jadon Sancho, and the man who is going to break his duck in this match, Nicholas Jackson.
I think we've said about 8 different goal scorers already. We've not even predicted the goal scorers.
Who is your gut feeling? Who scores a goal for Chelsea in this game?
Maybe I am a hopeless romantic, but I think Trev gets a goal in this game.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd love it.
It would be exceptional, wouldn't it? And then I'm going to stick with the defenders, and I reckon Reese also gets a banger.
Really?
Yeah.
Free kick?
No, I think it's an open play one. Maybe a volley, edge of the area.
Reese loves the edge of the area from the corner, doesn't he?
He does.
And when he gets it there, mate, more often than not, I feel like you're getting a. Was it Juve or Ajax?
Must have been Ajax, surely.
I think it was against Juve, wasn't it? Was it? You lot tell us. Was it Juve or Ajax? You know what goal I'm on about, innit?
I do know exactly
Just
the goal.
bang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a player.
What was the match I was at when it When we played AC Milan under Graham Potter, we smashed them 3-1, and Reese James absolutely roofed one into the top of the net.
We're playing them as well soon, by the way, West Ham. Graham Potter is coming back.
I thought you were going to say AC Milan. I was going to say, I'm
We're
pretty sure we're
definitely
not.
playing AC Milan. No, we're playing him. I'm a bit worried about that one. You
No,
know,
I'm not worried.
the pot dog will be up for it.
Yeah, but who
Fuck him.
cares? Fuck him. Now, when we look at that team sheet, obviously, the first admission would be Pedro Neto. Now,
I wasn't that impressed with him.
I didn't rate Pedro Neto's performance the other
What
night.
was wrong with
However,
it?
can I just say this? And this isn't a loaded question. I want your answer on this. I think that as much as I think at this moment in time, the sort of transitional phase that Chelsea are in, a lot of the time, our best chance of winning matches isn't going to be grinding out results. It's going to be outscoring the other team. So, you know, I had said in our Statemate group chat the other night, what did I say to everyone?
Tell him.
3.5 goals.
Yeah.
I said, whatever
Call
you do, 3.5 goals, and obviously
Wait a
whoever.
second. Did you win a bet?
I won a bet on Statemate the other night, yeah. Absolutely smashed it out of the park.
Yeah, well done.
Little
First one.
£75 win. First one of the
It's
season.
only taken 7 months.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, word of advice, probably don't take Joey's bets.
take
But just saying
Connor's.
that's one more win than me.
Yeah.
So,
There you go. And I shagged last night.
yeah,
Shagging.
hey, here we go.
Right. So, obviously, the first one that we've got to speak about is Pedro Neto's admission. Now,
Yeah.
I completely understand it in respective of, Noni Madueke's a class player. He created a lot for us the other night, and in the end, was a vital part in us winning that game. But before we get into all that, this video is brought to you by Manscaped, and they are kicking off the year in fashion with the Beard and Balls bundle. So if that interests you, then hit the link in the description and join over 11 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. And also, you can use the code JoeyKnight for 20% off and free shipping. Now, I've got a question for you. Do you think this happens by accident? The tash being perfectly shaped and the goatee being so elegant and crisp? No, it doesn't. It relies on Manscaped. And in particular, I rely on the Beard Hedger, which has a titanium-coated blade that helps you start the year off right. I used it to get fresh for New Year's Eve, all the nights out I've been having, and even to get myself looking good for the boxing. The beauty of this little gadget is it has got the zoom wheel, which offers 20 different lengths, meaning you can trim your beard however you please. It's got 60 minutes of runtime, an LED charge indicator, and it's USB-C, meaning you can literally plug it in anywhere. And get this, Manscaped have a 30-day money-back guarantee, meaning you can try the product risk-free. And the clue's in the name with the Beard and Balls bundle, because it's not just about what's up here, it's also about what's down there. And what you need for the old balls is the Lawnmower 5.0. Believe me, it will become your ball's best friend. It's got 2 skin-safe blade heads, which helps you keep safe and tidy when you are trimming down below. And in those dark and dingy corners, you can always do with a bit of light to help you out. So they have installed an LED light to help you shave. Not only that, it is waterproof, so you can use it in the shower, which makes things even easier. So join me in using the Beard and Balls bundle, and remember, if you hit the link in the description and use my code JoeyKnight, you will get 20% off and free shipping. So thanks to Manscaped for their continued support with the channel. Let's get back into the video. Up until about the hour mark, most of what he created, the final product, wasn't very good, and we do need to be clinical with our chances in this one. Do you think that from a defensive standpoint, when you look at the fact that if we do have Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, Reese James, Noni Madueke there, do you think that we're missing out on some legs there in terms of, does Pedro Neto put a little bit more of a shift in defensively than Noni Madueke?
I think that's probably the main reason why you would drop Noni in this game.
Yeah.
If the conversation were to be had. I think the attacking elements that he brings and the way that he drives at players and gets shots away is so positive that I'm almost happy to forego the negatives of it. But I do think the defensive side of his game against Wolves was really lacking. And actually, I don't remember at the start of the season him being so lackadaisical. I remember him coming back.
You said against Wolves. Have you seen many games where defensively Madueke's been really on point? And
do you know
when
what?
I
I
say
think that's
defensively,
harsh.
when I say defensively,
I
just mean putting the miles in.
No, I think that is harsh to say because actually at the start of the season, I think he was doing that.
Right.
I think overall in his career he hasn't, but I think when Maresca first came in, I think he was putting in a shift and he justified his place.
He was one of Maresca's favourite players at first, wasn't
Understandably so, because he fits the mould of what he wants as a winger.
Yeah,
completely. But yeah, if he doesn't put the effort in, and do you know what? Sometimes it's the body language, isn't it? Sometimes it's not just the fact does he run back and defend. It's just throwing your eyes up in the air, not really caring. The stuff about the Trev goal as well, it leaves a bad taste in your mouth, and so he's got to focus on that side of him. And that's why, do you remember Maresca was calling him out earlier in the season and sort of saying, I need more from Noni, and I need him to switch on. I need him to be in games.
There was a match when he said about after he scored, he's completely switched off,
which
and
really
you need to
pisses
be
me off.
hungry.
And that's true. Yeah, that's true. So look, if he doesn't consistently improve on that area of the pitch, then he will end up getting dropped. There's going to be pressure on him. There's pressure on him now, and we've only got 3 fit wingers, plus Tyreek George, who you should never ever forget.
Plus a Nicholas Jackson that could go out to the left if we were to bring Mark Yu on. Now, what do you think needs to happen for us to win this game? And I'm kind of on about tactically, but there's a few things that I would think, right? The first thing, and don't take this in the wrong way, I'm not being negative here, but the first thing is we need to get a bit of luck. I feel like you need to get a bit of luck. No, I do. I feel like you need to get a bit of luck in any game. I feel like, had VAR not existed, then we would have picked up a lot more points this season, so we've been unlucky. But had VAR not existed, then would we have had to toss another Adebayo goal against Wolves?
We would have had a lot more goals. You always tell me, mate, you make your own luck in life.
You do make your own luck. But at the same time, I feel like we do need to get a little bit of luck in this game. I feel like Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall, if he does start, needs to have the match of his life.
Yeah.
I feel like Caicedo needs to definitely be having a match of his life and needs to keep Kevin De Bruyne very, very quiet.
Don't worry about that. Caicedo will never let you down.
No. Over on both sides, I feel like, look, if it ends up being Levi Colwill that plays, then, so be it. It may well end up being Trevor Chalobah that is tasked over with being on Phil Foden. Do you know what it is? Phil Foden, what is it? 6 goals in 7 games, something like that. I don't worry about Phil Foden.
I've never worried about him. I've never worried about Phil Foden. Yeah, but the fact that do you remember we were having that debate, should it be Palmer, Saka or Foden? And the fact that there was even a debate that Foden, it was actually disrespectful to the other two that Foden was in that conversation.
Can I jog your memory on one?
Go on then.
Do you remember Craig on the kickoff?
What did he say? Well, he was saying that Foden was the best out of all 3 of them.
No. We weren't even talking about them. This one will blow your mind.
Gone.
I can't believe you forgot this conversation.
Gone.
When we were talking about Bellingham.
Oh, and Foden, he said that Foden was better.
He said, I don't know if Craig said that Foden was better, but he was making a case to say, like, why are we assuming that Bellingham is better than Foden?
It's just mad.
Mental, innit?
Foden, I'm going to say this now. I don't think Foden should be anywhere near the England team. I don't think he should be anywhere near the starting 11.
He's just never done it for England. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, has he ever scored in a tournament?
Well, I don't want to.
He's got one tournament.
He's a bit Bowen, isn't he? He's a bit Jared Bowen.
He's never done Danny Dyer.
Yeah, maybe he's wished he has.
Yeah. Maybe he needs to watch a Football Factory a few times.
Yeah.
Toughen him up a little bit. You know what I mean? Bit of Stone Island on, never hurts.
Yeah.
No, but look, I don't worry about Foden from a perspective of, like, say, for example, it was Trevor Chalobah sort of tasked with keeping Foden quiet. I don't worry about him in terms of, like, running at him, stuff like that. It's the other side I probably look at a little bit more, and I'm like, okay, we've seen Reese, we've seen him look stellar, we've seen him look good. There was a recovery run against Wolves when they were breaking on us, right? And I'm looking at Reese, and he's
shitting myself.
do you remember? Do you know this one I'm on about?
So worried about his hamstrings.
I'm like, Reese,
I was like, stop
slow
running.
down,
Yeah,
slow
yeah,
down.
yeah.
Because he was rapid, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
Reese absolutely rapid, got back there. But I'm like, oh, slow down, mate. Like, I don't want to see this or whatever.
How
Shitting
nice
myself.
is it to have him back? It is actually like it really is game changing. I'm going to put my hands up now. I question Reese. I question whether he was ever going to make it back at Chelsea, bearing in mind the injuries. I'm not saying
Don't speak
anything
too soon, mate.
anything
Touch
about
wood,
his talent.
touch wood.
Touch wood. But fuck me, having him back in the team has elevated us.
Yeah.
Sevenfold.
Ball retention is something as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like Reese will do what he wants to when he wants to do it. And you will not force him to do that. The only way you will is if you foul him.
Yeah.
Because there was multiple times in that Wolves match where you would have seen, and this is no disrespect towards them, but where you would have seen Malo Gusto, for example, just end up, you know, releasing the ball for the sake of it, maybe either giving a hospital pass to someone or a pass that shouldn't really be on, or giving away possession by trying to loop one over the top. They win it back, they rebuild from their back. Whereas, like, there was a few times that the ball wasn't on for Reese, and it's just like, okay, well, I'm just going to cut it back, and I'm just going to use my physicality against you to be able to retain the ball. Not only that, like, literally 2 minutes into the game, we see him pick out Noni Madueke with that pass over the top, and I thought that all of our defenders looked really good at doing that in this match. And this gives me a little bit of confidence, you know, against Manchester City. Does it not? Because don't you look at it and you think, okay, if Reese and Trevor Chalobah and Tosin Adarabioyo to an extent, maybe Levi Colwill, we know he's got a very good passing range himself. Think of that pass to Mikhail Mudryk against Fulham away at Craven Cottage last season.
Now you're talking about a goal, I remember.
There you go. So what I'm saying is our defenders all have, well, the ones that in question, all have quite good passing ability over the top, and I can see like Man City pushing forward, pressing up.
Yeah.
So I do think that that's going to be something that, look, there's never much middle ground for Chelsea, Man City, and maybe when we get onto score predictions, I might contradict myself here, but you kind of feel like it could be a match where you go there and you get exposed, and it's like, you know, you get a few shipped past you, or it could be a high-scoring game that we go and win 4-3. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it could be. It could be. How are you feeling on that? That axis.
I don't know, but I was speaking about the things that I said we need to get a little bit lucky. I do think we need to get a little bit lucky.
Yeah.
You do make your own luck. What I mean lucky is, I mean, no bad refereeing decisions.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Do you know who we've got as the referee?
Yeah, we got the guy that's given away 2 penalties in his last 2 matches.
Was it the one that we had for the Ipswich game or the Fulham game?
It is the one we had for the Ipswich game. Yeah.
Not looking good.
Not looking good.
By the way, I saw some fan footage. The fact that you were even questioning whether that was a penalty or not, it makes me feel sick. That was nowhere near a penalty. Have you seen the fan footage?
I did go back. And,
yeah. I'm not sucking you off. Don't worry.
I feel a bit attacked.
Yeah. No, but that fan footage, like basically, he puts the ball past him and just, it is a dive. It's such a bad dive.
Daily vibes.
Thank God he wasn't wearing the Speedos.
Speaking of penalties, this is another thing that when I'm talking about my little list of things that need to happen. Yeah. No Robert Sanchez howlers.
Can we talk about Robert Sanchez briefly?
Yeah, I think you just got. I think what you got to say to him is just as you walk out the tunnel, you go, Rob, no howlers today, and it's as simple as that, isn't it?
I mean, if I was Kevin De Bruyne, I'd be saying that. Yeah. I'd be getting right in his head. Look, mate, you and I have said this over and over again. Like, he's not up to it, is he?
And I think if you're the likes of Vardiol, Akanji, you know, any of the big lads that they've got in that side, and they're not the biggest of teams, City, but Haaland, obviously, I think that you're definitely gonna take a bit of a blueprint from corners from Wolves the other night, aren't you?
Do you know what? We have to also think about the rules here, and I thought the Wolves were a little bit too aggressive in terms of the corner, like the pushing and shoving. And I think that the referees need to look at this at the end of the season because it's going on far too much. I personally don't think it's fair that you can push and do whatever on the goalkeeper. I've never thought that's fair from corners. But on the goal itself, that Sanchez drops Howler, ridiculous play. I don't think they were that bad around him. I don't think there was that much physical contact on Sanchez.
I think they were quite bad, but I think there were moments where they were... At the end of the day, no matter how bad they were, if I can take a picture and that picture shows you with the ball in both of your hands, there's no excuse for the ball to then be in the back of the net half a second later.
Do you know what really worries me as well is he's probably better in that position than Jorgensen is. From like claiming a ball off a corner high up in the pitch. So even bringing Jorgensen in, does that stop that goal? I'm not sure. But all I do know is I am absolutely sick of goalkeeping howlers resulting in goals against us.
I would be shocked if Enzo Maresca was to roll the dice and put Jorgensen in
For this
game, yeah, not for this
one.
one.
We always said that. We always said at the end of the season it will change. I don't think before the end of the season. I think it would be
whether or not that's
crazy.
In favour of Jorgensen or someone else, I don't know. One thing that I do know is we do need to take our chances in this game. We'll get them. We will not. This is not going to be a game where we just go there and we're outclassed and we're outplayed. Like, trust me, Chelsea, even a weakened Chelsea side, will get plenty of opportunities in this game. And I think that we may well get those opportunities early on in the game. We need to take them. We need Cole Palmer to, despite the fact that I've known for a long time he's playing with an injury. Like, agreed.
It's quite obvious.
Agreed.
His output's been considerably less.
He's
and
very
he still
clearly,
bags goals.
Still bags goals. Still bangs them for
Legends.
fun, but he's very clearly playing with an injury.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I kind of feel a little bit the same about Caicedo a little bit as well. But we need them to be clinical. We need them to get those goals or convert those chances when they get them. Sensible subs at the right time. And despite in matches gone by, I'm thinking like, right, attacking subs and whatnot. Yeah, attacking subs. But you've got 5 there. And maybe reinforcement, maybe like, as I say, I wouldn't be adverse to seeing a Kiernan Dewsbury Hall come off for a Malo Gusto and then Malo Gusto going into that back line and Cucurella really helping out at that time. Earlier on, around the hour mark, that's when I want to start seeing the subs really, really flooding onto the pitch, especially if we're leading.
Yeah, and also don't be afraid to do a centre-back sub either. Like, I know you just said swap it around with Gusto, but also if we need to shore up the game, if we're 2-1 up going in 70, 75 minutes, bring on a centre-back. Shore it up. Bring on Tosin if Tosin isn't playing. Let's have the back three of big boys that can defend strongly. Whack Cucurella in midfield.
Just quickly, 33 games in all competitions so far this season that we played. Romeo Lavia has only been available for 14 of those. 9 of those he started. Those 9 starts he's looked unbelievable, in my opinion.
That many, to be honest with you.
Listen, the burning question, like, why haven't the board done it yet?
Yeah, why haven't they? Who should be recalled in your head?
I'd just say Andre Santos now. I've flip-flapped on it. I was like, Ugachukwu, because of the fact that if he's not really getting minutes, but then now it looks like he is getting minutes. Do you know what I mean? Now he's actually starting to look quite good against Man United, despite them obviously folding late on like a deck chair. Ugachukwu looked quite good in that game. And I think that now I'm looking at it and I'm like, let's just bring Andre Santos back, because the talk is we're looking at Douglas Luiz, and that's one.
Mate,
it
when
goes
I saw
completely
that
against the profile of the whole. We want under 24, under 25, or whatever, 26, and then they want the obligation to buy at the end of it. Like, nah, sorry, not for me. And even Douglas Luiz, Douglas Luiz, like, everyone's going with the narrative at the moment, he's fallen out of favour at Juventus and whatnot. Yeah, he has fallen out of favour. He's only been handed 3 starts this season, but he's only completed a 90 minutes twice this season, and he's missed a lot of games through injuries himself. Yeah. So why would you do that when you've got a fit and firing Andre Santos? And you can bring a man in who is Premier League proven and has done the business for Aston Villa, but at the moment has suffered this season from injuries and bad form, and obviously that knocks your confidence a bit. Or you can bring someone in and it's like, mate, this is your reward. You're being brought back because we think that you have been mustered out on that loan. Come in, do the business. If honestly, I would have got him back before this match and started him in this game.
Give them Carney. Like, if it's a fact of they don't want to, weaken that other team which they own, so they obviously don't want to weaken it. Give him Carney that he can play in a similar role. Like, obviously he's not going to be as deep as what Andre Santos would be, but fuck me, we do need to be a little bit selfish with these things. And also, mate, I just want to make a general point here. The directors of football need to stop this fascination with trading players. Like, let's be honest, Trevor Chalobah is far better than Disasi or Tosin. I'm sorry to just say it, but he's far better than both of them.
Don't be sorry.
Well, did we need to make those signings? No. Then you look at the centre midfield options. There are so many. Like, the Dewsbury Hall signing could have just been Andre Santos getting game time, and we could have potentially held on to a Conor Gallagher as well, who maybe that would have meant that Andre Santos could go on his loan, but we still keep Conor Gallagher. Unfortunately, what we're learning more than anything is that the Chelsea academy is way better than what they think it is, and also it's not just there to sell players and make a quick buck. And even when you reinvest that money, it's always a gamble. Why take the bet that the other players that you sign will have a higher potential than the Chelsea Academy players when we know exactly how good they are? We know exactly how good they are. And yes, the Mason Mount thing makes it look like an inspired thing to do. Yes, there are other examples where we've traded players and they've got worse. But there are so many other examples where we've traded players and they've got better. Mark Guehi is a prime example of that. I think you could even say a player like Loftus-Cheek is still looking exceptionally good for AC Milan and could probably fit in the Chelsea squad.
I mean, Kovacic, he's going to be playing against us. He wouldn't go and miss.
No, but I'm just talking about academy players.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I know. I'm just saying. Listen, Maresca worked underneath Pep Guardiola as recently as the 22-23 season. Who has more intel on who? Because I would always lean towards the student having more intel on the teacher, because the teacher never said to the student, you be a teacher for the day. Do you know what I mean? But we don't know how things work coaching-wise on the training ground.
So you're just saying that Maresca's got the edge?
I think Maresca's got an edge on him, yeah.
And I'm happy to continue with that narrative.
There you go.
If that means we're going to win. Before we go, can you tell me who you think is going to be the goal scorers and also the score? Because I've told you mine.
I've got one more thing for you that I want to know, right?
Oh, go on.
So currently, City have Kovacic.
Yeah.
I want you to list as many players that have played for both clubs as you can.
Frank Lampard, Kevin De Bruyne. Cole Palmer.
Yep.
Romeo
Lavia. You can go through those boys.
Sancho.
Romeo Lavia, Sancho, Tosin, Adebayo. Yeah.
Yeah, they're youth products.
Yeah,
that's slight
No, still
Cole Palmer did play for them.
Yeah, come on.
Are we thinking first teamers or are we thinking
Yeah.
young players now?
Yeah.
I'm struggling. Go on.
I'll give you an obvious one.
Go on.
First ever signing from the takeover.
From our takeover?
Yep.
Sterling.
Yep.
Fuck Sterling. Sorry.
A player.
Can you see how much I've driven him out of my mind?
I know.
I can't
a
even
player
think about him anymore.
that my dad paid an absolute fortune to have on the back of my kit. That gives you the clue.
I don't know.
Gives you the clue, doesn't it? If he's
don't
paid
know.
a fortune to have him on the back of my kit, that means he's got what?
It's a very long name.
So it could even be a double barrel.
I can't think of it. Go on, tell me.
Kind of the Raheem Sterling before Raheem Sterling
Tell me.
came through City's academy.
Oh, Sean Wright Phillips.
Sean Wright Phillips.
Yeah,
there
right,
we go.
Yeah.
Willie Caballero. And
Willie
there's one you're missing.
Come.
Premier League journeyman. Bang goals
Nicholas
for
Anelka.
There we go. There we go. Right, score prediction.
I'm going to go for a Desmond. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
I am going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea win.
You're not. After all the stick that we get for the predictions. Who's going to score then? Go on. And how's it going to go? Are they going to go one up?
I think that we will go 2 up and they'll pull one back late and we'll hold on.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a claim.
Yeah. I think Palmer will get a pen and I think Reese will bang one.
Love it.
Maybe a deflected shot.
I'm going to go, we'll be 1-0 down. We'll go 2-1 and they'll score in the last minute.
Nice. Well, one thing that we do know for certain is we are going to be in immediately after the game to give our post-match reaction on Saturday, which means by what's the game, 5:30? By
4, yeah, maybe 4.
No,
is it 5:30?
5:30, I think. Okay. So by 6:30,
oh yeah, sorry, it's Saturday. Yeah.
By 8:30ish, you're going to have your post-match reaction up on YouTube. Make sure that you have the bell clicked, because then you'll be notified. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed. Also, do us a massive favour. Subscribe to Joey and Josh. It's linked in the description to this video. And I will see you all in the next one.